Tuesday tea time. Taking a nice long breath, settling. How we go from so much busyness in the mind and in the body sometimes. And that's where we have our mindfulness practicing in daily life of sitting and moving and standing, walking, eating, tasting, touching, smelling. And then we bring it in to a little bit smaller circle here with ourselves. As we settle into our noble position. Letting a few relaxing breaths flow through us. Really sending calming, releasing, relaxing vibes, actually noticing as we put our attention at our head resting on our shoulders. Letting tension go, letting gravity settle us down. Noticing the shoulders, is there tension there? Letting the tension relax, or if there's pressure where you're seated, do you notice the chair or the couch or the cushion along your back? Touching sensation brings us right into the present moment. Touching is happening. As we notice relaxing around our face and our eyes, our forehead and our jaw. That the tension will just naturally release more from the face when we let our attention go there. Present with what is. Letting that breath flow through on the exhale at our lungs. And on the inhale, feeling the pressure that fills the lungs and the pressure that releases. Letting that sense of being present and releasing and letting go as the attention flows into the belly, letting the body settle, feeling gravity at the touch point of our buttocks on the chair. Whatever wandering goes off in the mind, in the body, we just bring it back whenever we can remember to the present moment, noticing our legs and feet, our feet on the floor. We might notice pressure there. There may be heat or warmth. Coolness. Just noticing for yourself what sensations are there under the pressure of the feet on the floor. Coming into the body. And letting our attention choose the nostrils or the lungs or the belly, the rib cage or the belly, or a touch point to be our initial point of concentration, our initial place of putting our attention, to be with exactly what happens right there. breath by breath, we bring ourselves back. That chosen object, the breath, noticing it cool or warm at the nostrils, or notice it rising and falling, pressure and release of pressure at the diaphragm. Or the touch point, the seat on the cushion, the hands where they touch. This renewed energy of taming the mind to come back, taming the heart, training the heart-mind to return to the present moment, to the opportunity of keeping the attention at a single point. Noticing that as we do that, we're less likely to fall into the snare of the hindrances. When they arise, we notice them. There's sleepiness. We can open our eyes and let light in. We can stand up. There might be aversion to what's happening. We can notice that. There may be grasping at what's happening because we like it and it's pleasant. We notice that with mindfulness. Mindfulness is present and sees the hindrances. There may be doubt. Why do we do this practice? I'm trying, but I'm not getting anywhere. We just acknowledge doubt is arising. There may be restlessness or anxiety in the heart and mind. That too we notice. We may feel it as a physical sensation in the body, the same way we can feel tiredness at the eyes or in the breath. We may notice something happening with anxiety where we might feel it in the body. And all of these hindrances can be noticed. We can sit with them. We might notice that they change. They don't last for a long time. And we can return to that single point at the belly rising and falling, deepening the concentration. We just keep developing the continuity of mindfulness. what we're aware of, we touch upon it. We really know that it arises for a certain amount of time. We're with it, and then it passes, it falls apart. Whatever it is, over and over again, that mindfulness is noticing. Stringing together these moments of mindfulness, of continuity of the practice, helps us continue to develop concentration. And stabilizing this attention, in this case on the single object, we can see experientially, we can know for ourselves that there are deepening states of calm and tranquility that are being noticed, along with everything else that is arising and falling and being noticed by mindfulness. But as mindfulness is directed to this precise noticing of changing objects, arising and passing, arising and passing, arising and passing, we have more clarity of the three characteristics of impermanence. We can see directly impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness. And so we return again and again to that single object of the breath, or changing objects that mindfulness is directed to. Awareness is there. The characteristic of concentration in both of these ways of practice, whether it's the single object or the noticing of changing objects, this steadiness of mind makes it possible for wisdom to arise. And we might begin seeing for ourselves that the mind becomes more pliable. And there can be a kind of happiness, an all-pervading happiness, much greater than the happiness that we know from sense pleasures. And so we develop this. forget what we're doing, just begin again, sitting in this present moment. Mindfulness being directed to a precise single object or noticing of changing objects. Being present with what arises, seeing its impermanence. It doesn't last. We can't hang on to it. It doesn't belong to us. There's a non-self, anatta characteristic of that impermanence, anicca, arising and passing away. We may notice this sense of unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, to what we are trying to hang on to. It arises and passes away. We let the mind settle and become stable in a relaxed body. The mind naturally becomes more calm. The Buddha refers to our minds as like fish flopping about on dry land unless we develop concentration. We are seeing directly the arising and passing away of the aggregates. The aggregates that come together and make this form. It's these 5 aggregates of clinging to form or to feeling or to perception or mental formations or even consciousness, our being, our personality. So we keep letting go, not clinging, not identifying with me, my, and myself, which we can see directly brings craving and clinging and suffering. One mindful moment at a time. Each time we may notice that we're lost in thought, or maybe there's something calling our attention in the body. We can be there with that. Give it a soft, gentle note of a repetitive thought pattern that it is, or of the aching or stabbing or tingling or vibrating, whatever we can name the feeling in the body, whatever arises. We're with it and present, holding it gently, holding ourselves gently without a strict need to return again to the breath, but it can naturally have an ending process, and we can continue there from where we are as we notice where mindfulness and awareness, what comes into view. Or we can return to the breath or the touch point to be present, to deepen concentration, letting tranquility be nourished. Various things intrude. Sound comes to the ears. Thinking comes to the thought door. Sensations on our skin, touching, feeling coolness on our face, or there may be sensations coming into us all the time through our sense doors. And we have this constant ability to be present with what's there, without judgment, just letting mindfulness be present. Just understanding things as they are. This last step on the path that we've been working with of right concentration, we can see how that it leads us right back to the first step of right view. We have these ever deepening levels of understanding of the steps on the path, coming full circle. Spiraling again and again. With this aspiration toward liberation. And so may we hold ourselves in kindness and appreciation. For choosing this path, for being present with what is. Whether what arises comes to us internally or externally, we still abide in that contemplation of the nature of arising and passing away. We might notice our general attitude toward what's happening. Are we aware in each moment, that moment of arising and passing away of the phenomenon? Are we aware? Or when we notice these things externally, we might notice someone else's energy. What thoughts and feelings arise when we notice someone else's energy or concentration? As we notice, how does that affect our practice? Are we able to view our experience and another person's objectively and free from clinging? We hold ourselves gently as we travel this spiral of the Eightfold Path. We hold ourselves in kindness. That might be a feeling that you have, or it might be the words from the phrase, may I be free from harm. May I have ease and well-being. The suggestion to our heart to be at ease. May we hold ourselves and others in great kindness and compassion.